What the hell is going on with the Browns? Sunday was a game that the Browns were supposed to dominate. It's a game they should have dominated. It's a game they easily could have dominated with their offense. But their offense couldn't get anything going. They couldn't get gelled up. I mean, seemingly every time the Browns would start to generate momentum, they would get in their own way and trip over their own offensive ineptitude this season. 4-4 is not where I would have expected the Browns to be 8 games into the season with the second year of Kevin Stefanski, and especially with all this offensive talent that they've got. Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Well, he's hurt. Dearness Johnson, Odell Beckham Jr., and Baker Mayfield. Oh, and not to mention, you got a pretty stout offensive line with. I mean, you just lost. We just lost Jack Conklin. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. But there should have been no excuses for, or there are no excuses for only putting up 10 points against the Pittsburgh defense. What is it about this offense that just can't get meshed together? I mean, they meshed together so well last season, and that was Stefanski's first year as the head coach. What's different? I mean, could it be that defenses have seen these play calls and they're expecting it from the Browns now? Maybe. Now, while I do think Stefanski is partially to blame for Sunday's loss, but I don't think he's anywhere close to the majority of the blame. I absolutely think that the majority of the blame falls onto the players, and some of it. Well, I don't think that this loss is squarely on, or I don't think any blame for this loss, or at least very little blame for it, goes on to Joe Woods. Even though I still think he should be fired because the defense has been doing absolutely nothing. But the offense, the Browns' offense, has got to be doing a lot better than this. I mean, we're going to start with Baker Mayfield. His passes weren't particularly great, but they didn't look uncatchable. I mean, when I looked at the drops, or the passes that the receivers dropped, I mean, obviously I'm not an NFL player, but it looked like to me it looked like those passes should have been caught. I know this is gonna sound, I know this might sound weird to some, but I am a baseball player. The concept of throwing a ball to someone has two parts. It has the part on the thrower to make it a catchable throw, and then there's also an aspect of the receiver for catching the ball. Now, Mayfield's passes were not particularly great, like I said. I mean, the receivers did have to alter their paths, and they were not hit in stride. But on the other hand, this is going to lead me into my next point. The receivers did not do their job to catch the ball. If you're given a catchable throw and you miss it, even if it's not perfect, you can only put so much blame on the thrower. The majority of the blame for missing a catchable ball, or there has to be some element, a large element that is that has to be put on the receiver. So the receiver needs to do his job to help out the passer or the thrower. And when I watched this core of receivers that's supposed to be elite, they did not do that job. They did not do that portion of their job. I mean, in the first quarter, there was a pass to Austin Hooper where he had to alter his route. He had to stop and shift around a little bit, and the pass was a little behind him and a little high, but it was a pass that he should have caught, and instead of him making the catch, he got two hands on the ball, had the ball in his grasp, and he dropped it. There was another play in the fourth quarter is a pass to Odell. It's a pass to Odell, where I know he is used to making the one-handed catches, and he has made a name for that. He's made a name of himself for that, but on that particular pass, it didn't look like he made much of an attempt to catch that ball. And then Jarvis, I know him now. I understand that Jarvis and Odell have been playing through injury, but on the other hand, it's football, and a large part of me thinks that maybe Jarvis should have sat a game. I'm sure I know he doesn't want to, but it might be in the team's best interest. Because regardless, you got to hold on to the ball. And I do think that passive reception that led to the fumble that Jarvis had was the nail in the coffin for the Browns. I mean, they were driving, possibly would have scored. I do think that they probably could have kicked a field goal in the fourth quarter, later in the fourth quarter, and then went for an onside kick recovery. But I'm not Stefanski, so So, what's my opinion? Or so, why does my opinion on that matter? It doesn't, but I'm still gonna say it anyways because screw you. And the last point that I want to talk about is the defense. For once, the defense was not the losing factor in the game for the Browns. Yeah, they could have done better. They could have not given up a 3rd and frickin' 20. But, well, there is no but. They were out. They were missing some. They were missing a few of their key defensive players. And Ronnie Harrison, stop with the stupid penalties, my man. In the first quarter, you took a cheap shot on a player and when he was out of bounds, right in front, and guys were right in front of the official. You dummy! I still don't think that you should have been ejected in week 1, but you still got to be better than that, my dude. You got to be better than that. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I recently joined I recently created a TikTok account. Also, I have a sports talk show that I do with my friend Ty every Thursday. That's linked down below. Subscribe there. Follow me on social media, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.